Chaos is the only way to accurately describe what's going on in today's real estate market, and that's especially true here in Las Vegas. Take a look at these recent headlines. Over 1 million homes for sale across U.S. as inventory piles up. U.S. home prices hit record high. Las Vegas home prices at all-time high in June. Report shows sales taking longer. So inventory is piling up, buyer demand is slowed, and yet home prices are at record highs, and sellers are clinging to sky-high home prices. Nothing makes sense anymore, and coming up, I'm going to show you a few examples of Las Vegas homes for sale that definitely don't make sense. What's going on, my YouTube friends? This is Jerry Abbott, your #1 real estate resource here in beautiful Las Vegas. Hey guys, a couple of real quick things before we dive into the video. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to learn the cold hard facts about the U.S. economy, the U.S. real estate market, and specifically the Las Vegas real estate market, then make sure to subscribe to the channel down below. Number 2, if you happen to like the content in today's video, make sure to press that thumbs up like button, guys. That would really help the channel out. And number 3, if you are thinking about relocating to beautiful Las Vegas, whether it's next month or next year, I've got your back. I'm a local real estate agent here. I've lived here for 20 years. I know every inch of this city. When that time is right for you, definitely reach out to me. Just call, text, or email me anytime, and I'll help you find that perfect dream home. Let's dive into the video. So there's a lot of real estate news that comes out every single week, but as a realtor here in Las Vegas, you can see again right next to me that even though home prices just hit a record high, there's fewer sales because there's more inventory piling up. So again, nothing really makes sense in this market because if there's fewer sales and there's more inventory, home prices should not be at record highs. But again, coming up, I want to show you a few examples of Las Vegas homes for sale where there are price reductions happening, and I think you're going to be very intrigued by that. All right, so I want to drill down specifically into the Las Vegas real estate market, and I want to show you 2 specific segments of this market. The new home construction segment, and then the resale market with a few examples on the popular real estate website Zillow. So I happen to be on this particular home builder website. This is called LAR Homes. Now, LAR happens to be one of the biggest home builders in the country and definitely one of the biggest in Las Vegas. Now, if you take a look just underneath my picture there, you can see kind of a little bit of a map of the Las Vegas Valley with all of those blue circles. Those are all of the new communities and all of the homes that are available from this LAR home builder in Las Vegas right now. And a lot of the homes, as you're about to see, are now going through price reductions because the market is changing. So let's go over to the left side of the webpage there and take a look in the top left side there in that yellow highlight where it says 137 available homes in 49 communities. So that's the amount of homes right now that are currently quick move-in type of homes for this particular home builder, and a lot of them are going through price reductions. So let's take a look at that first one there, where you can see the price point is $1,039,000, but in that blue square box right next to it, you can see that little down arrow, and it shows a $162,000 price reduction on that particular home, which is pretty significant, but it's also $1 million home. But take a look at the one right next to it on the right side there. That home is far cheaper, $294,000, but again, in that small rectangular blue box, they did a price reduction of $27,000. Now, if we scroll up just a little bit here, take a look at this one here on the bottom left. This home was $726,000, but reduced $52,000. And then the one on the bottom right there, $348,000, also reduced $52,000. So let's look at 2 more. Take a look over on the left side of the screen. This home is move-in ready at $619,000. But again, in that small blue box, the price reduction on this one is $49,000. And then the one on the right side, also move-in ready, just at about $700,000. Also a price reduction, again, that you could see in that small blue box of $49,000. Now, here's the thing. I know what a lot of you guys are thinking. A lot of these are what people would consider a fake price reduction because the prices were so high to begin with that it looks like they're reducing the price, but the builder is still making a lot of money on the home, and that is definitely true in most instances. But here's the thing. Many of these builders are doing these price reductions now. Several months ago, they weren't doing this. They're also buying down the interest rate to make it more attractive to buyers. So again, you can see the changing of the guard in the real estate market, especially with new construction, because there's a lot of competition out there. So they are reducing prices and they are buying down rates, which shows you that things are changing in the real estate market. And one final point, just to show you what new home builders are doing to incentivize home buyers, take a look at this webpage. Now, this is a different home builder here in Las Vegas. They're called Woodside Homes. They build quite a few homes here as well. You can see on the left side of the screen, it says Imagine Happier Bonus. So this is a bonus to incentivize new home buyers to not only purchasing a home from them, but to be able to get a lower interest rate. And you can see right here as I highlight this inside that paragraph, it says, ask about our limited time rate of 4.99%, 5.765% APR fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. So a lot of new home builders are incentivizing new home buyers in 3 different ways right now. When they have a lot of these quick move-in ready homes, they're reducing the price, number one. Number two, they're also offering closing costs to offset those costs that a home buyer would typically pay when they're purchasing a home. And number three, the really big deal is trying to buy down the interest rate for those home buyers to get them a lower monthly mortgage rate. All three of these things that are now happening are happening more often because, again, there's more competition. Home builders know this, and they're incentivizing buyers. And again, months ago, you didn't really see this as much as it's happening right now, which just goes to show you the changing of the guard right now, especially with new home construction and especially here in the Las Vegas real estate market. All right, so now let's shift over to the resale market. So now I'm on the popular real estate platform Zillow that most of you guys are familiar with. And I want to show you 3 specific examples of Las Vegas homes for sale, starting in the luxury category and then working down closer to the medium price point here, because I want to show you what a lot of homeowners now are doing. They massively overpriced their homes in many instances, and now what they're getting is a big reality check and realizing that they have to reduce the price of these homes if they want them to sell, because again, they were very much overpriced to begin with. So let's start with this luxury home. You can see on the left side of the screen, this home is currently listed for $2 million, but just above that in that small red text, it says price cut of $200,000 that happened just a few weeks ago. This is a 4-bedroom, 5-bath home that's just over 4,500 square feet. But down below, again, I want to show you the full price history on this home to show you where the original price was sold just a few years ago, what the original price was from the sellers compared to now this reduced price. All right, so focus your attention down at the bottom of the screen in the blue highlight. Down at the bottom left there, the date says 4/28/2017. So we're going back a little over 8 years ago when this home was sold. You can see down at the very bottom of that highlight at $785,000. But if you take a look at the date in that yellow highlight just above it on the left side, the date says 3/19/2025. So just about 8 years later, the homeowners of this particular home listed it for sale for a ridiculous $2.2 million. That's almost a 200% price increase in only 8 years. And in the history of real estate, no home appreciates in true value to that kind of level. And then if you look just at the top there, you can see that price point. That's the current price of $2 million because they've reduced it now $200,000 because they know that $2.2 million was absolutely ridiculous. And even $2 million, in my opinion, is ridiculous on this particular home as well, because many sellers don't really price their homes properly. They're trying to get some kind of a sucker to buy the home, hopefully a cash buyer, and they're realizing that because inventory is massively increasing in cities like Las Vegas, there is no way most of these homeowners, especially luxury homeowners, are going to get those original price points, and they're now going through these kinds of price reductions to try to get the home to sell. And even when they reduce the price, in this instance, they still can't find a buyer. So now let's take a look at this second example of another Las Vegas home for sale. Now we're coming down in price. We're now below the luxury category, which is just a little bit over $1 million here in Las Vegas. You can see on the left side of the screen, this home is currently listed for $950,000, but just above that in that small red text, it says price cut $300,000 that happened just about 10 days ago. That means this home, not even 2 weeks ago, was originally listed for $1,250,000, and now it's all the way down to $950,000. It's a 4-bedroom, 4-bath, 2,500 square foot home. But again, down below, I want to show you the full price history. So again, take a look down at the bottom of the screen in that blue highlight. Down at the bottom left there, the date says 6/26/2014. So about 11 years ago, this home was sold for a very reasonable $415,000. Now, if we look at the date just above it in that yellow highlight on the left side, it says 4/4/2025. So 11 years later, the homeowners supremely overpriced this home and listed it, if you can believe it, for $1,250,000. They knew that they were completely overpriced. They're trying to find, obviously, some kind of a sucker or cash buyer, which they weren't able to do, and they quickly reduced the price all the way down to $950,000, and they still can't find a buyer. So again, a lot of these homeowners are delusional in these original list prices, and now they're getting a big reality check, and they're now coming down in price, and they're still having trouble finding a buyer because, again, in this market with growing inventory, a lot of these sellers are getting a very big wake-up call now, and even with price reductions, they're having trouble selling these homes in this market. All right, so now let's take a look at this third and final example of another Las Vegas home for sale. Now, this is the most important one on the list that I want to show you today. You can see on the left side of the screen, this home is currently listed for $539,000. But here's the thing, take a look at the top left side there in that small box right there where you see the arrow pointing to it. It says pending. That means right now this home is just under contract because someone is buying this home at approximately this kind of price point. This is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, just over 2,000 square foot home, but the full price history down below is something you have to see to realize, again, what's going on in many instances in the Las Vegas real estate market. All right, so one more time, focus your attention down at the bottom of the screen in the blue highlight. Down at the bottom left there, the date says 3/2/2023. So we're going back a little bit over 2 years ago when this home was sold for $665,000. But if you look just above it in that date on that left yellow highlight, it says 4/28/2024. So about a year later, they listed this home for sale. You can see in that other yellow highlight for $695,000. Now, I'm not going to bore you with all of the details here, but as I scroll up here slowly, you can see all of these price reductions as we keep scrolling up here. Right as we get up to the top here, take a look at the price point right here at the top. As I'm scrolling, look at all of those price reductions, and then you can see right there in that yellow highlight, pending sale, $539,000. All right, so let's just rewind the clock here for a second. A little over 2 years ago, this home was sold for $665,000. Then the homeowner put the home up for sale a little bit over a year ago for $695,000. They couldn't find a buyer again because it was very much overpriced, and they have been reducing it many times over the last year. And then again, you could see right there in that yellow highlight, pending sale, $539,000. So if this home closes, let's just say at $539,000, this homeowner is going to take a loss on this particular home of over $100,000, which is really not common, but this is starting to happen more often now because, again, there's over 12,000 Las Vegas homes for sale, and when a home is very much overpriced, it will not sell in this market. So again, a lot of homeowners are forced to reduce the price, and some of them now are taking losses if the home is not remotely priced properly. Now, here's the thing. These types of home price reductions are becoming more and more common, and I think we're going to see more of this as we head into the back half of this year when real estate sales are typically slower during the fall and winter. Now, before I close out today's video, I just want to give a shout out to my favorite comment from last week's video, and that goes to Leon. Now, I'm going to put Leon's comments up here on full screen. I'm going to read it to you guys, and then I'm going to come back on the other side and give you my thoughts. So Leon wrote, so why would I buy a house for $550,000 when 3 years ago that house was $275,000? So unfortunately, there's a lot of things wrong with Leon's comments. Number one, a home that's priced today at $550,000 definitely wasn't priced at $275,000 3 years ago, because 3 years ago was the actual peak of the real estate market throughout the country. The other big issue that he's thinking about, as well as a lot of people, is that they're dwelling in the past, thinking that prices are going to roll back to those kinds of levels, maybe even before the pandemic time period, and it's just not going to happen, and I'm going to tell you why. Because nothing else has rolled back. Grocery prices are more money, auto insurance is more money, cars are more money, homes are more money, everything is more money today than it was a few years ago, and that's because of persistent inflation, and that is not going away anytime soon. So I want to hear from you guys. I want you to drop me a comment down below. I read and respond to all of my comments. If you disagree with me and you think that home prices and everything else in this economy is going to roll backwards, definitely tell me why, back it up with data, because I really would like to know why people continue to think that prices are going to crash, especially home prices, when we know the trajectory over the long term. Even when we've had crashes or corrections in the past, we all know that that trajectory has gone up with everything in this economy. So definitely drop me a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. And my favorite comment from this week's video, I'm going to give a direct on-screen shout out to in next week's video. So just to close out the video, I just want to leave you guys with one final piece of advice. There's two ways of looking at the real estate market right now, near term and long term. Near term, we're seeing those kinds of price reductions start to happen now because a lot of sellers, again, like I showed earlier in the video, are very much overpricing their homes. So if you're buying a home right now, whether it's here in Las Vegas or anywhere in the country, definitely put in a lower than asking price offer and negotiate with that seller, because especially if the home's been on the market a long time and there's been a price reduction on it, you're likely going to get a better deal. But when I look at the longer term trajectory of home prices, especially now when the Federal Reserve, in my opinion, is very likely going to cut interest rates soon, if they cut interest rates, that means inflation is going to go up. That means home prices and everything else in this economy, unfortunately, is going to go up. So again, that may take through the rest of this year. It may take well into 2026, but the likelihood and the trajectory of everything going higher is much greater when the Federal Reserve cuts rates, because that increases inflation, that stimulates the economy, but it has the opposite effect on what people are hoping for, which is lower prices. So if you're thinking about buying a home, whether it's here in Las Vegas or anywhere in the country, the most important factor is this: definitely crunch your own personal financial numbers. Do you have the down payment? Can you comfortably afford those monthly mortgage payments? Look for a home that's been on the market if you can for several months. Look for a home that's already been reduced in price and put in a lower than asking price offer. That's the best advice that I can give you if you're in the market right now for a home. Now, again, I know everybody's circumstances are different. Everybody's buying timelines are different. Some people want to wait. Some people are buying right now. If you're thinking about buying a home, especially here in the Las Vegas real estate market, I've got your back. I'm a local real estate agent here. I've lived here for 20 years. I know every inch of this city. When that time is right for you, definitely reach out to me. Just call, text, or email me anytime, and I'll help you find that perfect dream home. I'll see you in the next video.